Billionaire mocks black waitress, unaware she's the owner of the restaurant. What if a billionaire's mockery of a waitress led to a life-changing revelation? Tune in to discover how one woman's resilience turns a moment of humiliation into a story of triumph and redemption. The chandeliers of Carter's Bistro cast a golden glow over the polished mahogany tables, where the city's wealthiest sip vintage wine and trade stories of power and privilege. It's a Friday evening, and the restaurant is alive with the hum of exclusivity. Reservations are booked months in advance, and the wait list is a who's who of the elite. This is no ordinary dining spot, it's a sanctuary for those who measure their worth in stock portfolios and private jets. At the center of it all is Gregory Williams, a 50-year-old billionaire with a reputation as sharp as his tailored suits. His salt and pepper hair and piercing blue eyes give him an air of authority, but it's his arrogance that truly defines him. Gregory built his empire in tech, turning a small startup into a global conglomerate. To him, wealth is a weapon, and he wields it with precision. Tonight, he's here with 3 colleagues, men in their 40s, all dressed in bespoke suits, their laughter loud and self-assured. They're celebrating a recent merger, one that's added another zero to Gregory's already obscene fortune. Across the room, Jasmine Carter moves with quiet grace. At 28, she's striking, not in a flashy way, but with a presence that commands attention. Her dark skin glows under the soft lighting, and her braided hair is pulled back neatly, revealing sharp, intelligent eyes. She's dressed in the restaurant's sleek black uniform, a crisp apron tied around her waist. To the untrained eye, she's just another server, weaving through tables with a tray of drinks. But there's a fire in her, a strength forged through years of struggle. Jasmine is no ordinary waitress, she's the heart and soul of Carter's Bistro, the woman who built this empire from nothing. Jasmine grew up in a rough neighborhood, raised by a single mother who worked 3 jobs to keep food on the table. She learned early that dreams don't come easy. At 16, she started working in diners, bussing tables and scrubbing dishes. She saved every penny, studied business at night school, and by 25, she'd opened Carter's Bistro. It was a gamble that paid off. Her vision, elegant dining with soulful, innovative cuisine, caught the city's attention. Within 3 years, her restaurant became a beacon for the elite, a place where power and prestige collided. But Jasmine never forgot where she came from. She runs her restaurant with fairness, treating her staff like family and her customers with respect, until they cross a line. Tonight, that line is about to be crossed. Gregory's table is loud, their voices carrying over the soft jazz playing in the background. Jasmine approaches with a professional smile, her notepad ready. "Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome to Carter's Bistro. Can I start you with drinks?" Gregory barely glances at her, his eyes skimming her uniform before settling on her face. He smirks, leaning back in his chair. "Well, look at you," he says, his tone dripping with condescension. "I didn't expect to see someone like you working a place like this." Jasmine's smile doesn't falter, but her grip on the notepad tightens. She's heard comments like this before, veiled insults about her race, her youth, her place in a world that men like Gregory think they own. "What can I get started for you?" she asks again, her voice steady. Gregory chuckles, glancing at his colleagues. "I guess they'll hire anyone these days," he says, loud enough for the nearby tables to hear. His friends laugh, egging him on. One of them, a man with slicked back hair named Richard, adds, "Yeah, must be tough keeping up with the clientele here, huh?" The words sting, but Jasmine's face remains a mask of professionalism. Inside, her heart races, a mix of anger and hurt. She's spent years proving herself, building a business that rivals the empires of men like Gregory. Yet, in an instant, he's reduced her to a stereotype. She takes a deep breath, reminding herself of her mother's words, "Never let them see you break." She takes their drink orders, expensive scotch for Gregory, martinis for the others, and walks away, her head high. Behind her, she hears Gregory mutter, "She's probably just here to make ends meet." Sad, really. The laughter that follows burns in her ears. In the kitchen, Jasmine pauses, leaning against the counter. Her sous chef, Maria, a fiery Latina who's been with her since the bistro opened, notices her tension. "You okay, Jazz?" she asks, flipping a pan of sizzling shrimp. Jasmine nods, forcing a smile. Just another entitled jerk. Nothing new. Maria raises an eyebrow. Want me to spit in his food? Jasmine laughs, the tension easing slightly. Tempting, but no. Let's keep it classy. Back at the table, Gregory's group grows louder, their conversation shifting to business deals and exotic vacations. Gregory, emboldened by the alcohol, keeps the jabs coming. When Jasmine returns with their drinks, he leans forward, his grin sharp. Tell me, sweetheart, how'd you end up here? Scholarship program? Diversity quota? The table erupts in laughter, and Jasmine feels the eyes of nearby diners on her. She could walk away, let it slide, keep the peace. But something in her snaps, not with anger, but with resolve. She's worked too hard to let this man diminish her. Actually, she says, her voice calm but firm, I'm not just a waitress. I'm Jasmine Carter, the owner of Carter's Bistro. This is my establishment you're enjoying, and it's my staff you're mocking. The table falls silent. Gregory's smirk vanishes, his face paling. Richard chokes on his martini, and the other two men exchange awkward glances. The nearby diners, sensing the shift, lean in, their whispers buzzing like static. Gregory stammers, his confidence crumbling. You're the owner? He asks, as if hoping he misheard. Jasmine nods, her eyes locked on his. Yes. I built this place from the ground up. Every table, every dish, every moment you're enjoying here, it's mine. The silence is deafening. Gregory's colleagues shift uncomfortably, their earlier bravado gone. One of them, a quieter man named Paul, mutters. We didn't know. Jasmine could humiliate them. She could demand they leave, make a spectacle of their ignorance. But that's not her way. Instead, she straightens, her voice steady and composed. You're free to stay and enjoy the rest of your meal, but you'll have to pay the bill when you leave. This is your last time at my restaurant. Gregory opens his mouth to speak, his face a mix of shock and embarrassment. I didn't mean, look, I'm sorry. Jasmine raises a hand, cutting him off. Enjoy your evening, she says, turning away. Her silence is more powerful than any retort. She walks back to the kitchen, leaving Gregory to stew in his guilt. But the story doesn't end there. As Jasmine disappears behind the swinging doors, a young woman in a wheelchair rolls into the dining room. She's in her early 20s, with soft brown eyes and a hesitant smile. Her name is Lily, and she's Jasmine's half-sister. Lily has cerebral palsy, a condition that's left her dependent on a wheelchair since childhood. Their stepmother, Gregory's second wife, abandoned Lily years ago, refusing to care for a broken child. Jasmine, barely 18 at the time, took her in, becoming her guardian and fiercest advocate. Lily's presence in the restaurant isn't unusual. She often stops by to help with small tasks or simply to spend time with Jasmine. But tonight, her arrival adds a layer of irony that Gregory doesn't yet grasp. As Lily wheels toward the kitchen, one of Gregory's colleagues notices her and whispers, "Isn't that?" Gregory's face goes white. He recognizes Lily. His ex-wife Vanessa had spoken of her disabled daughter with disdain, dismissing her as a burden. Gregory, who married Vanessa for her beauty and social status, never questioned her decision to abandon Lily. Now, seeing her here, in this restaurant, the pieces click into place. The meal continues, but the mood at Gregory's table is somber. The food, Jasmine's signature dishes, a blend of soul food and haute cuisine, is impeccable, but Gregory barely touches his plate. His colleagues try to steer the conversation back to business, but it's clear their hearts aren't in it. Every so often, Gregory glances toward the kitchen, where Jasmine and Lily are now visible through the open pass-through, laughing together as they plate desserts. Jasmine's staff, sensing the tension, rally around her. Maria whispers, "You handled that like a queen, Jazz." The bartender, a young man named Trey, adds, "Man, I wish I could have seen his face up close." Jasmine smiles, but her focus is on Lily. She kneels beside her sister's wheelchair, adjusting a blanket over her lap. "You okay, Lil?" she asks softly. Lily nods, her voice quiet but clear. I'm proud of you, Jazz. You didn't let him get to you. Jasmine squeezes her hand. Never will. Back at the table, Gregory's guilt festers. He knows he's crossed a line, not just with Jasmine but with his own past. He remembers Vanessa's cold dismissal of Lily, how he'd nodded along, too wrapped up in his own world to care. Now, faced with the reality of Jasmine's strength and Lily's quiet resilience, he feels the weight of his choices. As the meal ends, Jasmine personally delivers the bill. It's a subtle power move, her presence a reminder of her authority. Gregory fumbles with his wallet, pulling out a platinum credit card. I really am sorry, he says again, his voice low. Jasmine doesn't respond. She processes the payment, hands him the receipt, and says, "Thank you for dining with us." Her tone is polite, but final. As Gregory and his colleagues leave, the other diners watch, their whispers following him out the door. He feels their eyes on him, the weight of his humiliation. But more than that, he feels the sting of truth. He underestimated Jasmine, judged her by her appearance and her role, and now he's paying the price, not in dollars, but in pride. The next morning, Carter's Bistro is bustling again, but the energy is different. Word of last night's confrontation has spread, and the restaurant is packed with curious patrons and loyal supporters. Jasmine, as always, is in the thick of it, greeting guests and checking on her staff. Lily is there too, helping fold napkins from her wheelchair, her smile brighter than ever. In the weeks that follow, the story of Jasmine's stand goes viral. A diner who witnessed the exchange posts about it on X, and soon, Carter's Bistro is trending. The post reads, "Billionaire tried to humiliate a waitress at Carter's Bistro. Turns out, she's the owner, and his ex-wife's abandoned daughter was there. Talk about karma." The comments explode with praise for Jasmine's grace and strength. Jasmine doesn't bask in the attention. She's too busy running her restaurant, mentoring her staff, and caring for Lily. But the incident changes something in her. She starts hosting community events at the bistro, offering free meals to underprivileged families and scholarships for young entrepreneurs from her old neighborhood. She wants to show the world that power isn't about wealth or status, it's about heart. As for Gregory, he never returns to Carter's Bistro. But the lesson stays with him. He starts questioning the way he's lived his life, the people he's dismissed, the values he's prioritized. It's a slow, painful process, but it's a start. The story ends with Jasmine and Lily sitting together in the bistro's quiet corner, sharing a plate of Jasmine's famous peach cobbler. The restaurant is closed for the night, the lights dimmed, the city skyline sparkling through the windows. "You think he learned anything?" Lily asks, her voice soft. Jasmine shrugs, a small smile playing on her lips. "Doesn't matter. We keep moving forward." And they do. Carter's Bistro thrives, a testament to Jasmine's resilience and vision. It's more than a restaurant, it's a legacy of strength, dignity, and the quiet power of standing tall.